Completely free higher public education is the future, and there is no realistic long-term future that doesn't include it. We have free, universal, K-12 public schooling in our country because it's a good thing. And it's good for both individual citizens and society as a whole. Because of our understanding of MMT, there is no reason why we can't make public community colleges, four-year colleges, and graduate schools completely free as well. Studies have shown that increased spending on higher education produces higher economic activity than a similarly sized tax cut or similar spending on roads and bridges. Studies have also shown that college graduates smoke less, commit fewer crimes, and draw less on social welfare programs. America would not be the first to implement such a program, and it would not stand alone. Currently, Germany, Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Iceland, Mexico, and Brazil all have free public higher education programs. There's also overwhelming evidence that the rapid inflated cost of higher education has not been correlated with an equal rise in the quality of that education. Since 1990, median household income has predominantly stayed flat, while tuition and fees have seen an increase of 156%, with the current yearly average price, including room and board, approaching $20,000 a year. Compare this with an increase of average household income of just 2% over that same period. Tuition, fees, room and board have gone from representing 17.6% of yearly household income in 1990 to over 35% today. On top of this, we have more people going to college than ever before in our history. This increase of more college and graduate school degrees, along with a substantial increase in cost, creates the combination of more debt, more degrees, and not more income. This creates the impossible scenario, where the only thing worse than taking on more debt to finance a degree that's ultimately worth less is the choice of not doing so in the first place. Making our public college system free would overwhelmingly help the most disenfranchised among us, especially minorities and the poor. It's also fundamentally important that we pay for more than just tuition and fees. Room and board, basic living expenses, books and supplies, all of these need to be covered and guaranteed to all students who meet the minimum requirements necessary to attend. This makes the program universal. All students, regardless of their situation or background, will be able to focus exclusively on their studies, and thus increase the likelihood of completing their degree in the first place, as well as the time that takes them to do it. However, free is not enough if quality is sacrificed. This means the program will need to hire more tenure system faculty and full-time staff, establish better pay and benefits, and increase job security as well as additional support services. It's also important that the program is universal with no strings attached, special qualifications or requirements, because universal programs are the only programs that truly last over time. Think of Social Security, Medicare, public K-12 education. We also know that there are very strong positive outcomes directly associated with increases in college-level education attainment for our society. These outcomes result in net social benefits worth between 2 and 5 times the dollar amount we currently spend on public higher education. Research has observed that higher education in people leads to longer, healthier lives, lower crime rates, lower levels of unemployment, and higher levels of civic engagement within the local community. The act of eliminating our current outstanding student loan debt brings many benefits as well. These include a direct and personal increase in net wealth for individual students, as well as an increase in after-tax income available to be saved, spent, or borrowed against, further stimulating the economy in the process. Eradicating student loan debt both now and in the future also leads to higher levels of household formation and home ownership, higher individual credit scores, reduced individual vulnerability to economic shocks, increases in humanitarian and cultural health through a more deeply educated population, lower levels of unemployment, increased levels of new business formation, and improved state-level budgets. Eliminating our current student loan debt of over $1.4 trillion is expected to raise our real GDP by $1 trillion over a 10-year period. Research anticipates the inflationary effects of this expenditure to be macroeconomically insignificant, with the potential for a slight temporary increase in interest rates if necessary, and a yearly budget impact of 0.65 to 0.75%, all of which can be easily handled by our current government and financial system. Completely free, universal, higher public education is the future. There is no realistic long-term future that does not include it, and nothing prevents us from implementing it today. We are creating a higher, better, stronger, and more efficient society of the future right now. This includes a federal jobs guarantee, universal basic income, universal health care through Medicare for all, cancellation of student loan debt, and making higher public education completely free. This is the America of the future. This is the real America. Thanks for watching. And remember, keep talking about it. Peace.